Hi, my name is Sribatsa. Viewers can practice the command that I'm going to show in this video at bella.org in an online Linux terminal. So I will give this link in the description. So this is another video in the video series of basics Linux command. Let's get started. In this video I will start talking about a command. Let's say there is a file and you want to display the content of the file. The command here is cat command. So I have launched the terminal. To launch the terminal in your Linux system, you can use the shortcut key Control Alt T. So I got my terminal up here. Then with ls-l I will get a listing. Then to see the content of test.txt, I will say cat test.txt. Similarly, if you want to see the content of multiple files simultaneously, then you can do that by mentioning the multiple files separated by space. For example, I will say test.txt, then I will say test.sh, which I don't have it here, I think. And I will say hello.txt, then test1.txt, and you see that I got the content of all the files. Let me find the content of each of them so that you can verify that it is actually coming as the content from these files only. So you can see that we got this is test file from test.txt, then hello world, this is 3 from hello.txt, and hello from test1.txt. Sometimes you would like to know the file line number along with the content to be displayed onto your terminal. You could use -b option with the cat command to achieve this. So let me do that. Cat -b. So test me.txt. You could see that I got 1, 2 without -b. If I do test me.txt, you could see that just say hi Sri and hello. So this could be particularly useful when you are performing some debug operation and you want to know the line number to find out where exactly an error occurred. For example, if I say for another file, I will, let's say, test more.txt, then since it's a large file, it will be better if you know the line number. Sometimes when you have a really large file that extends to multiple pages, then it will be useful if you could open the file page by page, because when you use the cat command to display the content, it will open the file completely, as you can see with the test more file. So it just opened the file completely, so I'm not able to view the content from the beginning. So to see it, I have to scroll. To do that, there is another command, more command. So let me use that. So when I use the more command and press enter, you will see that it will open the first line only. So it is, and wait for the user response before it displays more. To display the next line, you can press enter in your keyboard and it will show the next line. Similarly, if you keep on hitting enter in your keyboard, it will go to the next line. If you want to display the next page of information from your cursor position, then you can press space bar in your keyboard. So if I hit the space bar in my keyboard, it will load another set of information and fill the pages. Then I will go, then it goes up to until it finishes off the file. Then another thing that I want to talk about in the more command is, suppose you try to analyze the file, what is the content. Then after analysis, you are finished off, but the file is still a large file and you don't want to go to the end of the file and you want to quit from the board. Then you could do that by pressing Ctrl Z. So Ctrl Z is, you can see that it came out of this more command. So I think it will be useful for you. Then sometime you would like to know the number of lines that are there in your file, and the number of words, number of character in your file. So WC command, which stands for word count, is particularly designed for this task. Let me do that. WC, then file name. So it displays multiple outputs. Let me explain what it gives. The first output, that is 1, is the line number of lines that are there. Then the next one is the number of words. Number of words in this case is the sequence of characters separated by space. So it has 5 words. This is 1, is second, A is third, test is 4, file is 5th. If you want to display the line number for multiple files together, that you also can do by mentioning the file name separated by space. So test1, say hello.txt. So you see that it is able to display line number. Then the second output is and the number of words. Then the third output is number of characters, and the last one is the name of the file it is working with. Another point that I would like to verify here is, let's say wc testme.txt, then get a content of the file. So you see that it is showing me 13 characters for the character position. Then if you count the number of characters is there, the high is 2, space is 3, 3 is 3, 6, then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But I got 2 extra, so I got 13. So this is due to the invisible / character after each line. Since I have 11 characters, so / is 1 character. For 2 lines I have 2, so 11 plus 2, I got 13. Then sometimes you would just like to know the number of lines. To do that, you can use the -l option with the WC command. Then it will give you just the line number. So L stands for line. Then if you want to know the number of words, then -w will do that. So I got 3. Similarly, if I want to know the number of characters, then I can say -m. Similarly, if I want to know the number of bytes in the file, then I will go for WC -c. The next command that I'm going to show here is the copy command, which is cp. cp stands for copy. If I want to copy the file test.txt, then I can do that by saying cp test.txt, then test copy.txt. So So to verify that I do not have the file in here, okay, so if I press enter, then you can see that, so I got this file test.copy.txt. if I try to display the content of the file, okay, this is same as the content that I have in the test.txt. Suppose I have this file already is there inside the directory. So the copy command, the syntax is first you have to mention the source file name, after that the destination file name. So here source file name I mentioned is test.txt, and if it is the same directory, then you have to give a different name. So I give test copy.txt, then it is able to create the copy of file test.txt. Then let's say you want to copy, so I'm doing it in my present, so I'm doing it in my present directory. Let's say you want to do it for files in some other directory. Let's say I want to do it for file in the upgrade directory, okay, or let's say in the dark directory. Then how can I do that? So let's say I want to copy the test.sh from the doc directory to my to let's say upgrade directory. Then to do that, so I will first mention the source. So in this case it is docs/test.sh. Then I have to mention the target. In this case it is a directory, so I will mention the directory name. Then I press enter, then if I get a listing of the directory, then you can see that I got test.sh in the target directory. So if I try to display the content of the directory file, then you can verify that. So I got echo hello world. Then in the doc, do I have the same thing? So I have the same thing. Another thing that I want to show with cp command is, let's say I want to copy multiple files into a directory. Let's say I want to copy hello.txt, then copy test1.txt and test.html into upgrade directory. So you have mentioned the name of the files you want to, then at the end you mention the target directory. If you press enter, then I get a listing of upgrade. Then you can see that I got all the files. You can verify that since it is created with today's timestamp, so which is 10th April, so it just copied. Similarly, let's say I want to, so all these things I'm showing with a relative path. So let's say I want to do it by using absolute path, and I am somewhere in other directory than the directory I'm trying to copy. So can I be able to do that? Let's say I want to copy the file test.txt from that Linux directory to the YouTube directory by using absolute path. Then so absolute path is the path which start with the slash. But to do that, let's see if I'm able to do it. Then let's say test.txt, then how to copy it to this directory. So let's see, do I have the file? Yes, I got the file. That means I can, with the cp command, you can use either a relative path or absolute path, but it has to be a valid path and a valid file. Moving ahead to the next thing with the copy command is let's say you want to copy a directory to another directory. Let's say I want to copy the directory upgrade to my YouTube directory, and I want to copy all the files along with the directory and the files and directory inside those. Let's say I have something inside upgrade and then input, then I should be able to copy all those things into the YouTube. So to do that, you can use -r option, which stands for recursive. Then it will perform a recursive copy. In that case, it will copy the directory and the directory inside and files and directory that are there inside the directory that we mentioned. So cp -r upgrade, then we want to go to the YouTube directory. So double dot represents parent directory. In this case it is YouTube. So if I hit enter, then I get back to the YouTube. Now you can see that I have the upgrade. Let me see if I have copied everything into this. Then if I try to list the, let's say, input directory, okay, you can see that I'm able to copy everything from upgrade and everything that is inside the directory of the upgrade directory. So this is useful and I have showed you that how can you perform different type of copy by using the cp command. So this is all for in this video. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to comment. Bye.